go.
Password, you gotta be kidding me.
Who the hell knows
All right,
it?
you guys, you ready?
Pardon?
Good evening. I'd like to call the November 11th Planning Commission meeting. And we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Patty, can you take the roll call, please?
Mr. Midall? Mr. Kearns?
Present?
Mr. Patrick?
Here.
Mr. Olszewski? Here. Mr. Lemke?
Here.
Mrs. Hoy?
Here.
Mr. Levecki?
Here.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the September 9th meeting. Does anyone have any comments, suggestions, or revisions to that?
I don't, I wasn't here.
I do that.
If there are none, we'll entertain a motion to approve them as is.
Make a motion to approve the September 9 minutes as is.
Second?
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next we have a period of public comment. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to speak that's not about an item that's on the agenda this evening under new business? Seeing none, we'll move on to new business. First up is the discussion and recommendation for S-11-25, a re-subdivision for Lot 1 of the Mark Ginley subdivision. Is there someone here representing the applicant for that project? Would you like to come forward? Give us a brief overview and where things stand.
Hi, I'm Wes Nicholson, and I'm representing Ronald Very. He wanted to split up his lot, and due to the setbacks, we had to apply for a variance because of the dwellings.
What road is this on? I can't, oh, Maymont.
Ashbaugh
Okay.
Road. There's 3 houses on it to begin with, and the way it needed split up, we had a rough time trying to figure out how we can get the new lot lines in there with the setbacks that are in place.
Okay, do you, Mike or Emily, do one of you guys want to give us a rundown of where this stands with the reviews?
Yeah, Wes did send me a revision yesterday. All the comments have been addressed. Like he said, they did get a variance, I think October 30th, to address the setback issues. So no outstanding comments on this one.
Okay. And some of those, there were some things that were highlighted, I think, in the briefing.
Yeah, those have all been addressed.
Okay.
I just haven't had a chance to update this review since it came in.
Fair, I just wanted to make sure. So everything has been addressed and nothing's outstanding. Does anyone in the commission have any questions?
Now, I see that there was a zoning hearing board, and apparently it was a favorable result. I would,
That's correct.
Okay.
They got a variance for the side yard to what would be the north of the plan and the rear yard to the west of the plan.
okay, I have no further questions.
Okay, if there's no further discussions, we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, regarding S-1125 re-subdivision, Lot 1, Mark Ginley subdivision, I recommend that we move this on to council with our approval.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we have discussion and recommendation for S-12-25 Sampson subdivision plan, a minor subdivision application to subdivide a 51.5 acre lot into 2 lots. And it looks like you're ready to take the stage.
Sure. My name is Brian Almeter with the firm of Farringer McCurdy Gray. The purpose of the subdivision is to subdivide a property for Ben Sampson. It's tax parcel 49-19-00-0-090. It's accessed off of Hoy Farm Road and contains about 51 acres. Right now, there's currently an existing home on the screen on the left-hand side and an accessory building about where the hand is, just below Murraysville. And what he would like to do is subdivide that out so his primary residence is on its own separate parcel and the accessory structure is on its own parcel. All of them have water and on-lot sewage, so all that is sort of taken care of. It's in the RR zoning district, so we greatly exceed, lot areas and setbacks and those types of things. In your briefing, we concur it qualifies as a minor subdivision. We will obviously sign and seal the plans once all the comments are addressed. We don't like to sign and seal them until we get all the feedback from Planning Commission and Council. We did change the signature block. We had it as a resolution and not just an approval. One of the things, if we can go to maybe the next slide, Mike, also. One of the comments from staff in the briefing was to show the setback lines, which we have on the plan, but we also had noted on the plan that it's, and this is basically from our surveyor, because Murraysville can change the zoning code setbacks, we typically don't like to show those on the subdivision plan because if Murraysville changes it to, instead of a 40-foot front yard, they change it to 30-foot, then the subdivision, because it's recorded, can sometimes cause hardships for the owner that it doesn't necessarily have to be because the zoning ordinance changed. And it could happen in the reverse as well, I understand that. So in the recent past, we've been trying to put on there that it's just diagrammatic of what it was basically as the code stands today. I'm not sure if
Where's that note at on the plans? What number is it?
it's down underneath the zoning
Right here.
Okay, I see
summary
it.
table.
I found it.
Okay.
So, and I think that was just raised and highlighted by staff in the briefing, so. And I think everything else has been addressed by the
Okay.
other comments.
You said accessory structure. What do you mean by that? The second?
I want to say it's like a small building. I think they have bedrooms in it, maybe a little kitchenette for maybe a guest. like a
Okay,
guest
so it
house
would
type thing.
qualify as a single-family residence, sounds like.
As I understand, it's kind of like a cabin sort of situation, so,
I just want to make that
yeah, it's not
clarification.
a garage or a shed or anything like
Right.
that.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Mike, do you want to add anything else?
Nothing to add. All the comments have been addressed aside from that one, and it's nothing that should hold them up.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or concerns on this one?
No, sir.
Nope.
Do I hear a motion?
Somebody want me to do it? Okay. Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion for S1225 Sampson subdivision plan. We move this on to council with our approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to go far. Number 3, discussion and recommendation for SP-6-25, Mr. Handyman Land Development.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Okay, this site was previously approved for conditional use for parking on an adjoining property. These are located on William Penn Highway, tax parcel number 4915000045. And we did get that conditional use approved probably a year ago now, I'm thinking.
April.
April, okay. And since that time, I believe it was at the recommendation of the Planning Commission that the plan be submitted for land development, and because of the size and the nature of what's being proposed, it's a major land development. This proposes 6 parking spaces and a trash enclosure to service, again, the adjoining building and the adjoining property. Really what's changed since the conditional use is in the Murraysville Code, it requires that the parking spaces be paved with asphalt. So essentially, this plan is a representation of the proposal of the applicant. Going through the briefing, we've obviously had a number of comments. The majority of them, I would say, are addressed, but I'll go through the ones that are not, unless the Planning Commission has any other comments. Under the stormwater, the O&M agreement needs to be signed, and we concur with that. One of the requests for waivers was under the stormwater code, certain properties require a non-permitted soil erosion control approval from Westmoreland County Conservation District. In this case, because the majority of the site is gravel and all we're going to do is pave it, not really any excavation other than to maybe level off some of the gravel and get it ready for pavement, we're respectfully requesting a waiver of that requirement. We'll certainly have soil erosion control facilities, and we do show that on the land development plan to control any potential runoff from this construction activity, but we felt that it was not necessary in this case. Under item 2G, recommended that the elbows be used in the cleanouts for the infiltration trench. What we're proposing here, below the parking areas is an infiltration trench with an under drain in it, and the engineers, and we had T's in there as more of an inspection T. They're recommending an elbow so that a camera or cleaning, hose or something like that could be easily gotten in there. So we will do that as well. Details and calculations for the soil erosion control facilities, we will be able to do that. That's item 3, or paragraph 3 under stormwater.
Don't
And-
we require pervious paving for 50%?
Take this one. When our ordinance was, our stormwater ordinance was changed in 2020, that's not a requirement for certain areas now. This is not a requirement for this one, and I think that was also in the zoning ordinance, but it's not required for this site.
And how do we know which sites it's required for? You know, but we don't know. That's right. Am I reading that right?
I believe it's a square footage area, so beyond, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but
Okay.
10,000 square feet or something like that.
Okay.
Thank you. Under subdivision land development comments for, again, the signed and sealed of the stormwater management plans and plans, we'll certainly do that as all the comments are addressed as well. Item 6, about site lighting. We felt because this was really for company vehicle storage and not customer parking, it was really for overflow and those types of things for Mr. Handyman themselves. We were not proposing a light fixture. However, since it is a zoning requirement to light parking lots, instead of going through the variance process, we have asked for a lighting consultant to prepare a photometric plan, and we are proposing one light near the parking spaces against the existing building. So we have added that, or will add it for your review and confirmation. If you'd like to see, I do have the lighting fixture and the photometrics if you wanted to see it tonight.
So you're going to provide a lighting?
Yeah, we would, yeah. Brian, is there a handicap space somewhere? There's a handicap space on the adjoining
existing
property for the existing building,
Okay,
yes.
it's just not picking up, that's
Yeah.
why I asked.
Under, again, the subdivision land development comments, item 12, hydrogeologic study says shall be prepared and submitted to, with the application. Our response to that was that we were proposing an infiltration trench to capture all the surface runoff from the pavement and the parking, I'll say in air quotes, area. We would expect that also
to catch any potential subsurface seeps that might be coming through the site now. It's somewhere between 3 to 5 feet deep along the lower edge of that parking area. Again, that system is designed to have an under drain in it as well as an overflow pipe that connects into an existing 12-inch pipe that comes out of the PennDOT system. We think that that adequately addresses any potential impacts for whatever hydrogeologic study, whatever that definition is, for this particular site. However, it's still an open comment, and I'm not sure what direction we would need to go in order to satisfactorily address that. We think it's addressed by the function of what is being proposed, but we just don't know what that means. There's really no definition in the ordinance, so there's some discussion about what it is, but we don't know what that exactly entails.
Yeah, it's something that's typically required on sites that have on-lot septic systems.
Yeah.
So that's still an open comment. I'd certainly, if we could address it any further than what we have, I think we have in the physical and proposed infrastructure here. Moving on to zoning, we did or will add the setbacks on the plan itself. We had it in table form, but we just didn't graphically show it in the plan view. Item 2 is the existing vegetation. We do show landscaping. We believe that it meets the intent of the ordinance for both trees and screening along the front line of the parking spaces, some trees in the horseshoe part of the parking lot and around the perimeter. On the left-hand side, currently there's an existing probably 5 to 6 foot high bank there that the house is up off of the property, as well as sort of a hedgerow of existing vegetation that's there. I did bring some pictures. And you can see our survey truck is there, and you can sort of see the height of the survey truck in relationship to the slope, in relationship to the structure behind. We believe that adequately protects that neighbor from potentially any headlights. On top of that, the parking spaces are probably 200 feet from that property line. And primarily we'll be probably head-in parking, obviously backing up, turning around to come back out on the 22. Would have some headlights if it was even being used at night, which, again, maybe this time of weather we would, but for the majority of the year, I don't expect people coming and going in the evening hours. Item 3 under zoning is a lighting. Again, we will be installing a light. And 5, the development of the existing structure on the adjacent property, which this would be sort of overflow parking for the business vehicles. That building is about 1,500 square feet and would technically only require 7 parking spaces, which they do have on their property, and they do have an occupancy permit for that building. So again, this is just an overflow for company vehicles on the adjacent property. So other than that, I think we've addressed all the other comments.
Mike, do you want to touch on some of these items? And specifically, I'll ask a question here. The erosion sediment control requirement that was brought up, I don't believe our ordinance says that a submission's required, does it? It just says that a plan is required. This is always a source of contention. Like if you're under an acre, technically they don't require a review, the conservation district does, unless we would.
I believe it's written, and I think there's a different one that addresses it. It's 198. It's part of our stormwater ordinance. that any earth disturbance activity of 5,000 square feet or more requires an ENS control plan. And then it is a requirement that it be submitted to the conservation.
Oh, it does say that?
Yes, and typically, larger houses, we do require, like even single-family home
Yeah, sure.
residences, we do require a submission.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. I understand it's in our ordinances, and we can waive it, but does the Conservation District have any authority in this?
They do not require it. It's not required by law technically. It's up to each individual municipality if it's under 1 acre.
I just wanted to confirm that. Thanks.
Yes. So with that, Mike, do you want to give us the overview here from the staff standpoint based on what Brian said and where we're at in the process?
Yeah, as Brian pointed out, there are still some outstanding comments. I just want to jump to the hydrogeologic one. That is one that we've waived for multiple ones since I've been here. So I guess if, Brian, if you did want to request a waiver from that one, I think that would be okay.
Okay.
Emily, if you had anything to add.
So the two outstanding items are we need a lighting plan and a waiver for the hydro-geo. Is that correct?
Yes, I think those are the two outstanding major ones.
What's with this parking and the screening? Is that still kind of open-ended? Is that what I'm hearing?
What do you
The
mean?
landscaping for the parking?
I think that the landscaping would still be outstanding as far as the west side of the,
Okay, so we're talking about that around the bend when you
correct.
come in,
If we want to
correct?
accept that as screening for the adjacent resident.
Is that on the subject property or is that on the neighboring property?
I think it's kind of, and you might know better where the survey line actually is there, Brian, but I think it's mostly on Mr. Handyman property.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know. I'd have to believe that the slope shown in the pictures is on Mr. Handyman property, but the vegetation itself, I honestly don't know whether it's on it or on the property line, basically. I still think that the vertical change there, as well as the existing vegetation, whether it's on the Mr. Handyman property or not, and the remoteness of it from the parking spaces, I think we meet the intent of the ordinance. I think the physical vertical separation and the existing, I don't know what you call it, tree line, shrub line, vegetated line adequately checks that box off.
I think it probably matters whether that vegetation is on
Yeah.
the subject property or the neighboring property. From the pictures, it looks sort of overgrown to me, and if it's on the neighboring property and they decide
cut
to
it
clean it
down.
up, it could create an issue.
But that's their if it's theirs, it's their
I
issue.
understand what you're saying, but
But at the same time, I think if I remember the ordinance correctly, the perimeter planting is only 4 feet high. So the perimeter planting is not going to be higher than the slope that's there now also.
gotcha.
Yeah, and what's the difference between the current situation that we approved, 6 months ago or whatever, and now? I mean, nothing. They're gonna pave it. They're gonna make it look pretty anyway.
So that's not a concern. So we're deciding the west side landscaping?
It looks like there's a fair amount of landscaping there on the north side of the parking.
Yeah.
Yes?
What about shifting some of that around to the west side or along that bend instead of creating a burden for more plants?
I think that you could remove right at the edge of the dumpster enclosure and maybe shift that around to the other side, Brian, the west side there on the curve.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, I was, like, again, I read the letter of the law, it's, screening the parking, so I said, okay, we'll screen the parking on the high side, on the back side too.
Right.
But if it's more advantageous and you feel it's, yeah, we can move it.
Yeah, just to have some protection there on the side. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but I also know headlights are shining, you know, someone comes out of there with high beams, it's gonna blow right into that house right there.
Okay. That makes sense, thank you.
So, I believe there was something else that I wanted to, no, that was the last thing.
Just a question, Brian. There was a comment initially about the HOP and the note on there. Is the intent to apply for an HOP for the overflow for the connection to the catch basin on 22?
There's an existing pipe there now. And,
Oh, that goes into the-
It goes into there, and we were just going to tie into that. I believe it's a PVC pipe, and it doesn't look like, it looks like it was installed when the inlet was installed, which would have been a PennDOT thing. So I believe it services the property now, and we would just be tying into that. And due to our stormwater facility, we're lessening the flow. So my intention was just to have it extend from where it is existing today.
My concern is just I don't know, do you have the diameter on there? It doesn't look like it of the,
It's a 12-inch, it is 12-inch.
Okay.
I did measure it. It's a lot to add into that little plan, but no, I know it's a 12-inch line.
It looks like I see a 1 and a 2 there.
Yes,
I got my glasses on.
yeah.
So the $1 million question here, are you guys, is staff comfortable with us potentially recommending approval for this with the conditions? Because obviously there would be some here. Given the fact that I think there's technically some waivers that haven't been submitted, so I feel like those should be submitted
Be submitted.
prior to us giving the recommendation. Unless anyone else has anything else to offer on it.
No.
No, I agree with that.
So,
I'm just talking out loud. It's council's discretion whether the waiver is approved or not anyway. Would planning commission be willing to say, recommend it with the waiver? I mean, would that, I mean, I know it's a technicality, I don't have a formal letter in front of you, but it is council's decision.
Yeah. You know, I understand what you're saying, and I think, from my point of view, I hate to have you tied up for another month.
Right.
On some, you know, minor issues. So, yeah, I would suggest we do that.
fair point.
I mean, there are some other things that I've said for the record, lighting plan, obviously that, and I know these are all things that should be reviewed by staff and or your consulting engineer as well as the planning commission. I mean, again, it's up to you, but I do have some other cleanup items, as I said, but for the record, we're you know, we are going to do that.
So, would we have a list? Were you making notes?
I believe I have the list. A 1 and a 2. Okay. I am going to make a recommendation that we move this on to council with planning commission's approval. SP 625, Mr. Handyman, land development. We are waiting on or the staff is waiting on a lighting plan. There's a waiver for the hydro-geo, and the applicant has agreed to move some of the landscaping that was around the parking over to the west side of the property. Am I missing anything?
The waiver for the erosion sediment control review. to
The waiver for
Conservation
the
District.
erosion sediment control also needs to be completed.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. I certainly appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. I don't believe you get a break yet, do you, Brian? So number 4 is an advisory discussion concerning a proposed conceptual plan for a personal care boarding home submitted by Lux Caesar Investments, LLC. So Brian, take it away whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. So with me this evening is Theodore DeCesar from DeCesar Properties. It's really him and Heather's proposal for a personal care building in the White Valley neighborhood of Murraysville. This property is accessed off of Pennsylvania Avenue, which is sort of at the end of the Whispering Springs a townhouse development. So on the image up in the upper left-hand corner there, and we have the enlargements as well, but so the Whispering Springs is the townhouse community on the lower left-hand side, and Pennsylvania is sort of the greenish as we come up and about here. This is not improved yet. There's just a cul-de-sac here at Whispering Springs, and that would go into this property. Property contains a little over 20 acres, 21 acres. There are some streams and wetlands that have been delineated already in the lower level of the property. There are overhead power lines that are through this area of the property, and gas lines as well that we need to be working around. The property is also zoned R3. The plan proposes, as I said, a personal care boarding home for seniors and elderly. This is a licensed facility. It is not, however, skilled nursing or a nursing home type facility. So it's more of a independent type living with staff there to assist and help the residents of the particular building. The proposed development is 123 units. Some of these units would have their own kitchen, a living, bedroom, and other units will utilize a common dining area as well as common services within the building itself. The building is 3 stories with a lower level that would basically outlet onto natural ground at the lower side or on the left-hand side of the property. It contains a covered entryway. Mike, if you could maybe, it would be a little bit easier to see, pull up the larger, yeah. So the building has sort of a covered entryway, circular driveway for both residents, visitors, as well as emergency management type facility entities. The preliminary building concept is going to be more of a resort chateau type look, and Mr. DeCesar could certainly talk about that if we want to talk about that a little bit. Building is placed so that the short side of the building is adjacent to the Whispering Springs community, so we wanted to have the least amount of impact to those townhomes, existing townhomes, and limited parking on that side of the site as well to minimize the impacts there. The building is also orientated to take and accept the sunlight from the southern direction so that it's nice for the residents to have that view. We do have possible recreational amenities, including possible golf hole, driving range, putting greens, gazebos, maybe even a sled riding hill for the families that may be coming and visiting the residents, because it's fairly steep going down over the hill. Parking areas to accommodate both the residents as well as the staff. Per the code, it's 1 space for every 2 units and 1 space for every employee. So we exceed that amount. We have about 120 or 121 spaces shown here, and by what we're seeing and hearing for staff, we're about 102, 60 some for the residents and 30 to 40 staff members.
How many square feet is each floor?
About 20,000,
Okay.
330 by 60 is sketch.
Say that
Plus a
again?
little atrium in the back, an atrium on the side.
You said 330 by 60? Is that what I heard? Okay, very good, thank you.
The site's also looking at the various combinations for a retention pond in the front entryway, with a little fountain and plantings. Again, we didn't get into too much detail in this particular rendering, but obviously we want to make it a nice feel for the residents and visitors as they come into the property. This retention pond would both act for stormwater management as well as the aesthetics. Also, additional rain gardens, detention facilities, bioretention areas are also looked at in sort of the darker green areas, as well as another facility down at the lower level of the property. Again, preliminary, but what we're sort of thinking ahead already. The site generally falls from lower right-hand as you're looking at the plan to upper left. So the high point is more along the parking lot side of the property, and then all sloping down toward the left. We would also be doing buffer plantings and internal planting, street trees, parking lot trees, and those other plantings to make an aesthetic site. Some of the zoning requirements are a little, I don't want to say a little vague, but we want to bring that to the attention. That's one of the reasons why we're here tonight. We understand that a personal care boarding home is a conditional use, and under the bulk density table of the ordinance, there are another section there that this sort of elevates it to, and check boxes, 22031Q. Also in the bulk area table, it notes multifamily, and we just want to make sure for multifamily, we need 7,500 square feet per dwelling. We want to confirm with the Planning Commission and staff that personal care equals multifamily in this case for that specific lot area and density requirements. Because multifamily has its certain definition as well in the code, it does not include personal care home. Similarly, minimum lot width, the building line is 200 feet, minimum lot frontage, or multifamily, again, multifamily dwelling. We have, in this situation, frontage on a number of unopened streets, as well as, I don't know if there's any open streets that touch the property. If we want to shift back to the plan view, we can sort of highlight. Yeah, so right here is Pennsylvania. That would be the primary access point. Sorry. There are some unopened alleys. I don't know if they're still, this is by a survey by CB Spiker, so I haven't confirmed whether the right-of-ways in Whispering Springs were vacated or not, but that there are certain widths there for those right-of-ways. Texas is also in this location. There's 180 feet there. Nevada, another alley. Colorado, and another alley. So I believe technically we meet the 200 foot of frontage on a right-of-way, but I wanted to make sure that we're on the same page before we go too far with the plan.
It looks like that one on the south there is going through a building, one of the buildings in the neighboring property.
Could be.
Looks that way.
Now, again, it might have been vacated. I don't know. We
Yeah.
we know based on recent vacations that all of the former paper streets within the property, within this subject property, have been vacated. So we know that that's been taken care of, but outside it, I don't really know. But again, we do still have these other yellow ones that are touching that would exceed the 200 foot of frontage on a street.
I mean,
Maximum height for building is 60 feet. We would be well under that. As I said, landscaping. Conditional use also has as I said, very specific zoning requirements under 22031Q. One of them that we wanted to verify is personal care shall have frontage on and direct vehicular access to an arterial or collector street as defined by the comprehensive plan. We believe that Pennsylvania meets that because it is a collector street for the White Valley neighborhood, but I'm not sure that the comprehensive plan, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to download that and look whether that specifically mentions exact streets or just widths of streets, or how the comprehensive plan defines those. I don't know if the planning commissioner staff knows.
I can't speak as much to the actual comprehensive plan, but as far as our definitions for principal, arterial, I think, what is it, arterial and collector, they're based on average daily traffic, the ADT. So for example, a principal arterial is 6,000. A minor arterial is a maximum of 6,000. So you could interpret that, I guess, how you would like. Yeah. So anything over 6,000 is considered
What
a,
I just.
Arterial.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it there was a collector, didn't it?
there's a
collector.
collector as well. And a collector is also a maximum of 6,000. So,
I mean, it's not just serving this property, so I think it, in my
correct.
opinion, it would meet the definition.
Yeah.
Again, no other similar facilities within 500 feet. There are none. Fire and emergency medical vehicles, obviously, the plan proposes a loop system, and all around. So I think we'll work, obviously, with your emergency medical people to make sure that we meet those requirements. 24-hour staff, and yes, the building will be staffed 24 hours. Open space, again, we have that around the building, and it is a licensed facility, as I've previously mentioned. So,
When you use the name Beverly Manor, isn't that the name of the facility that was down across from the fire hall in Murraysville?
I think it was before, it was my mother's name.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was,
and that's not called Beverly Manor anymore. That's not going to
Yeah,
cause
you know
any
what, I looked it
confusion?
up, I think they got rid of the name and the company, and it's out of business. I remember that from years ago. I did a little search on it.
Yeah.
It exists.
I know it was Beverly Manor. I just
Yeah, I
don't know if that's
remember
going
my
to
mom-
cause you any confusion or cause us any
Not
confusion.
around that, there's nobody, I don't think that anybody that's.
So Beverly is your mother?
That was my mother's.
Okay, there you go. Okay, works for me.
I kinda like her name back then. She's been in enough of them facilities, it's not even good one too, we could use one around there. But not just the outside, the inside, the right staff, the help, a little bit of personal touch and stuff.
So not to compare you guys, because I'm sure you're going to try to do a better job, but this is similar to the Redstone facility on Klein Hollow, correct? As far as not having acute care and stuff like that. It's,
They have memory care.
that's right, they do have
They
that.
do, yeah. I had a
Okay.
friend, Faith, was in there. So this is a little more independent,
I would say,
I would
Yeah.
say.
yes. My understanding, I don't really know the details of Redstone, but
I do.
Yeah,
okay.
I know a little bit.
I've had a couple of elderly people.
Mother was there too, but she didn't need the memory care, so I don't know about that specific.
Right, yeah, that's,
The one in
pull in
Greensboro,
on the
yeah,
right.
further out, that has all the facilities.
Yeah, that has everything.
Not having.
Yeah.
So the residents would be basically renters, or would they be property owners?
No.
Renting.
We're gonna
yeah.
see how to do the financial and
yeah.
stuff like that too. There will be some in the beginning and then I'm talking to different people.
Excuse me, sir, could you use the mic, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking to some of the people that are in our finance department and our legal about how we want to set that up. And it'll be similar to some other ones that were done this way around the country. And, we're gonna, we've noted that right now. But we'll be offering some specials to people, like especially in our community and that. First to different people that I know, you know.
Special deals, huh?
Yeah, well, absolutely. If someone gets in
Looking at
early,
us
I think
older
it's that way
people.
just about anywhere, right? You need to start into a plan, but anyway.
Okay.
You're gonna have to talk to me about it later.
Okay. Much later.
So basically, the answer is that is deferred.
Yeah, isn't everything.
Yeah.
As far as
yeah.
specifics in that go of the thing, but yeah. It would be probably like some kind of a membership though, for a lot of it, and some renting and that too though. Sorry, if you can't- probably a little bit of a membership or some kind of renting and stuff too, though, right? Like, and it would be transferable like amongst families or to people.
I think that the confusion, or at least what is uncertain for me, is that, like at Redstone,
You have to buy in.
you have to buy in, but if you get to the point where you need acute care, they may not provide acute care. So
here.
if somebody purchases a unit and they now get to the point where they need acute care, you can't just boot them out. So how
No.
do you handle that?
We would handle that internally, probably just, we'd have mechanisms in place for it.
I believe Redstone.
Specific on that right now, but when we get to
When
that
you go
point.
in, you gotta throw funds, so a certain amount of funds.
Project.
Well, yeah, and then if you need it, if they need it, they take it, yeah, you gotta use it.
Sure, no, go ahead, yeah, no, it's.
Hi, my name is Heather Diaz-Granados. I am a licensed administrator for senior living communities. So for personal care, it is not a buy-in, you're not permitted per the personal care home regulation. So it is a month-to-month payment. Independent living there can be options for buy-ins such as Redstone. It's basically a rental agreement, landlord-tenant lease type of arrangement. You can have community fees or security deposits, you can have buy-ins, and I think Mr. DeCesar is just really, that's all being worked out, all of those financials. So the personal care license portion would not be a buy-in. That is not permitted under Department of Human Services, Personal Care Code 2600. So that is the area that will be staffed 24 hours a day. And, we'll be managing, quote, a higher acuity level of resident. There's different regulations for memory care, and that all just breaks down to the structure of the building and staffing. So that could all be determined down the line if that's something that, it just would be a matter of putting an alarm on the door or and adding 5 more staff members or something. So, that can all, those are details that can be worked out, but.
Yet to be determined.
Yes, yeah, but essentially, the independent living portion, anything that we've, determined to deem it independent, because of course you want to keep those people separate. When you're an independent senior, you want to walk in and be independent, right? You don't want to be amongst people that may need assistance. So, I think the idea is to separate them a bit, whether it be by floor or by wings. And then, the independent living people would have different amenities than maybe the personal care, all according to the regulation.
Okay.
And that's all internal staffing.
Governed by the state.
Correct. It's, Department of Human Services.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is an advisor, so what's your thinking regarding timing and that sort of stuff?
Well, Mr. DeCesar wants us to go right now, so if we get sort of favorable feedback, which I don't see any, I don't hear any hurdles, maybe, maybe a little bit more conversation with staff, and if you have any additional feedback based on, I'm coming at you cold here on.
Does there have to be a
on the plans.
public hearing for this?
It's a conditional use.
Yeah, okay. I'm just wondering the neighbors and.
Sure.
What's the section in the ordinance you were talking about concerning, I think, the use, whether it being multifamily, I think was that just specifically for bulk area requirements, like density?
Yeah, under the bulk area table requirements, all it says in there is for every one under the R3, the last line is multifamily dwelling.
I think that's what it would have to fall in there, because
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
mention of independent
Right.
living.
Right.
What's interesting is when you look at the use table, though, multifamily is a permitted use.
Is a permitted use, yeah. Yeah. And then
That's
you,
something that should get cleaned up in the ordinance.
yeah, and then,
Oops.
and then Yeah, under multifamily, exclusively occupancy, 3 or more families, including triplexes, fourplexes, townhouses, and apartments. And then in sort of circular, it has an apartment, it's multifamily resident dwelling, which are located, one over another. So, again, nuances in the code, but that's what we're here for, is just to make sure that we're all on the same page on those types of interpretations.
Staff agree with that? I mean, I think that's
Yeah.
accurate. What about the street frontage issue? That
has to be
to me is a little bit more cumbersome.
ironed out.
Not that I don't think any of us would want to. I think we got to try to figure this out, right? Because the property otherwise is landlocked if you don't count that, which you can't do. And that one along the I guess the northwest.
Colorado, I think. Texas. I was talking about the one at the very top.
Yeah,
No.
left.
Left.
I think that's like the longest one you got there.
That's an alley, that's 288 feet. It's and again, an alley, is noted on the original Pandora plan of lots is what created those specific lots and street rights of way.
Well.
What?
You have to dot the i's and cross the t's,
Yeah.
that's all. Make sure grandma doesn't come up and say, that's my street.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just needs to be
Cleaned up.
Verified.
Needs to be verified. Make sure it's ironclad that you guys definitely have that.
Frontage.
Yeah,
And the reason for the frontage is,
it's
there's
just
a lot of places that don't have frontage, these types of buildings.
it's in the zoning ordinance. I mean, it would
Yeah, I know.
technically it'd be something you'd have to ask for a variance for if you wouldn't have it. Yeah, yeah. So that way you can avoid
Just
that.
don't see like the logic of it.
It's in the ordinance.
You guys didn't put that part of the ordinance together, so it's just that.
But any other development similar, I mean, single-family development doesn't, I guess just because it's a more of a multifamily type.
Well, you're creating new right-of-ways, public right-of-ways in it. So each lot would have its own frontage, I think is the difference, if I understand what you're.
Well, it could be, in this situation, it could be a private street servicing, maybe townhomes, rental townhomes, but it wouldn't need 200 feet, I don't think.
You got a lot of private lanes.
I mean, my suggestion is to make sure it's ironed out, make sure you guys are clear on it, and if you need to, ask an opinion of the solicitor.
Sure.
That way, if you need to go through a variance process just to check that box off, you can. I don't think anyone here is saying it's
Yeah.
not a good idea or anything like
It's not a
that.
problem, we just don't.
Yeah, I
don't
just-
want to see any speed bumps.
There's all these communities that are all private lanes in that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's just a technicality. So if there's a technicality you got to check off and go through a variance process, just make sure you do that ahead of time, so it doesn't slow you down. I mean, that's the only thing that would be required for that, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other questions you specifically had or anything that you wanted feedback from us on?
No, I think that's it. I think, the discussion that we had here, I think those were 2 or 3 of the ones that I was most concerned about in reading through the code.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I think screening is going to come up, along the edge on the
Like
one.
pine trees, yeah, we're trying to get like that feel of the western Colorado area, the outskirts exteriors.
That'll go right along with the sled riding when grandma's going down the hill.
It's a nice feel.
But yeah, no, specifically over there on that southern edge of the building, that's backing up in those yards. Just I know that's going to come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that,
Hey, it's something the community needs, in my opinion.
Think so?
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, what if they rotated that building a little bit? I mean, I know they situated it the way it is, but if they rotated that building, they would they would get away from these things. And then you'd have more.
Well, the problem is if you rotate it, you're dealing with probably 100 feet of elevation change from one side of the building to the other.
We actually had a concept that it was rotated about 45 degrees or a little bit more. And
Doesn't
not
work.
quite 100, but it's significantly more. And in lining up the contours and the way the two levels of the building work, more with the land than sort of fighting it. But again, this is schematic. We'll certainly look at all those options.
Is it flatter on the other side? Oh, no, those are just, never mind. Those are the contours just aren't showing up.
Yeah, they're just with the screening behind. And the power lines are right there as well. And gas line, which is relatively shallow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the red zone property R2? Or the Redstone property R2?
Oh, I know they wanted it changed to R3.
Yeah, they tried to change
That other section?
They wanted a portion changed, didn't they?
I'm sorry?
They wanted a portion changed.
I don't remember what the
That was
building is.
the annex they wanted.
Yeah, to the west.
Yeah,
Or north.
north, yeah.
Just getting back to their question on density, if that one's,
Yeah, well, R3 is higher density, so
Right.
that's a good
Right.
thing.
Yeah, you don't have a problem with it as long
No.
as we're falling under that criteria, which I think you do.
Yeah, I think we're fine with the one per 7,500.
Okay. I mean, anything else from us that you guys?
I think that, yeah, I think your feedback has been helpful here, and we'll certainly get some homework and hopefully be back soon.
Look forward to seeing it.
All right, thank you. All right, any other business that we need to discuss? Members of the commission?
Nope. Nope. We having a meeting in December? Okay,
None right now?
Happy New Year.
right. All right. Thank you all.
We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Boom.
Good job.